Live. Welcome everybody to yet another meeting of the Collective, live, being streamed across the globe on YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, already we have some members of the Collective down in the panel. I'd just like to say good evening, gents.
Good evening, sir.
Weggy.
Evening.
Good to see you all again. You'd just like to introduce yourselves? Oh, well, I'll introduce you. Yet again, we have Yankee Boy Chris. Good evening, Chris.
Hi, guys.
Steve.
Sorry, I'm munching cake still. Sorry.
You put your boots, well, I'll show you some cakes in a minute. My wife's just bought, man. I said, you probably know. I'll tell you, you won't believe these things. How many you bought? 12. 12 of the bloody things. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Email me one of those.
Yeah. Anyway, good evening, Steve. Otherwise known as Boat Bloke within the Collective.
Evening, Weggy.
You keeping well, mate, yeah?
Yeah, we're all good down here in the southeast of England.
Absolutely, mate. What's the weather like down there at the moment?
It's been alright today. Bit windy, but no, it's been good.
Yeah, good. It's not been so bad.
Did you get the bike uncovered?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I just had a nice couple of 3 hours running out, and I've sort of fettled with the suspension settings. Got the tyres back up to the appropriate PSI levels that I was running the old ZZR at, which, believe it or not, is 41 and 42, and that handles absolutely beautifully. Really does.
Would that be the same for most bikes?
Yeah, I mean they do sort of tend to vary. I mean, you might find that I don't know about Chris, what sort of pressures you stick in your ZZR 14.
42.
42. Yeah.
Front and rear both 42.
Okay.
I know some might drop down to 36 and stuff like that in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, the factory settings on my speed for the rear's at 40 and the front's at 36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Mike, it's good to see you again, my man. Are you keeping well?
I'm doing fine.
Fantastic,
A little
mate.
busy tonight.
Yeah, well, I see we're obviously we're based within the garage tonight rather than being walked through.
Yeah, last time I was in the, we started out in the garage too. It just, I was changing oil.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, like I say, it's good to see you all again. Any news with any of you lads? Anything been happening?
Well, that's a big fat zero then.
I did my fork seals. Followed Del Boy's instructions. All right.
Yeah, I did actually see you posted that on the forum. It went well, didn't it?
No, well, that went well. When I came back from the test ride, I left the bike outside the gate, jumped off the bike, opened the gate, turned the bloody thing on the side. It
Really?
fell off the side stand. Yeah, fell off the side stand. But so I don't have a made-up drive. So
yes, I did see that. Yeah, you got. You're asking about possibly removing or some tips on removing some scratches on the left-hand flank.
that's right. That's right. You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
But damper settings. I mean, because I've had them to pieces, I left them on soft. And to me, the bike feels better. Well, not that I know very much about it, but how would you have your damper setting?
Me personally, I suppose it's a case of you sort of assuming your own weight and your riding stance and how you prefer to feel the bike on the road. If I'm completely honest, a lot of my settings on bikes previously and now, they do sort of hover around the factory settings mark. If I'm completely honest, very, very close, if not spot on, very, very close to factory settings, front and rear.
And what the factory settings would be midway, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, these companies, they've got a prerequisite. They've got an average size rider, and they've got a pretty good idea on how most average riders will ride a particular motorcycle. And they're not silly people when they put these settings together and release it from the factory with the preset settings. Let's be quite honest about it, they're pretty much spot on. You don't really have to fettle with them unless you're going to start doing things like track days now, which you're probably going to go for a much harder set and a different race profile altogether. But as Chris has just said, he's probably running his as near the factory preset. I know for a fact I am. I've just gone through the settings on the ZX12, and they're pretty much factory preset. The ZZR was the same. Sometimes you have to allow for wear and tear, you know, older shock absorbers, so you tend to fettle a little bit to bring it up to speed sometimes to compensate for an older shock, you know. But generally speaking, we can get away with the factory settings. So
the local Triumph dealer for me, which is Motor City Triumph, they have in the U.S. we have a Thruxton Cup race series. I mean, it's nothing super official, but like a lot of the Triumph dealers in the U.S. participate in that, and you can be private, but they got their own little race team. And so they've got a bunch of tools where they will take the time to dial in the suspension for you as the rider. Because it isn't whether or not, I mean, I weigh 225 pounds, whatever that goes out in the kilos. I'm not a light guy. And I can tell my bike is not set up for me weight-wise because I like to have more turn-in. I don't like a bike that understeers.
No.
So the rear end needs to be a little stiffer for me. And I'm going to have to change the fork oil out and the shock fluid in the back because, you know, it's a 2003. It probably needs to be changed because I can't assume any service has been done right at this point with all the BS I found on my bike so far. Yeah. I just have to assume everything because I know even though I've got service records up to 12,000 miles, I guarantee you that the valves weren't adjusted. So I'm going to take it in for that, and they got to pull the radiator to get the valve cover off. So there are like certain things that I know I could do on my own, but I don't want to mess with the valve clearances. So I'm going to let them flush the radiator at the same time, and I'm just going to have them change because they aren't going to charge me any extra to set the bike up suspension-wise for me, which is nice because they've got the tools and the equipment that they use for the race guys anyhow. So they'll weigh me, which is a little humbling, you know, on a scale, and then they'll have me sit on the bike to try and figure out what the weight distribution is.
So you hung up on a big biker's nappy, mate, on a hook.
Well, I'm not going full race leathers or anything crazy like that. I just I don't like it when a bike understeers. It's a really unnerving feeling, you know. Yeah. I don't really lean down on the corners that hard, but you can tell the difference when a bike has a good lean in and wants to you know, bite on the front end versus wanting to plow and just kind of keep going straight. And that scares me. And if it doesn't do it well on the dry pavement, just think about what happens when you get just a fresh little bit of rain where you got the rain and oil mixing. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a fantastic bike you purchased there, but as you've said before, you know, we've spoken about it and seen what you put up on the forum itself, and you spoke about it last time, the fact that the guy who previously owned it made out that he was this and he'd done this and that to the bike, but as a matter of fact, the bloke was a complete and utter prat, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a lying piece of shit is what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets it off the last time. And is that on your end?
Yeah, I think that's Wiggy's.
Okay.
It's certainly not mine.
Yeah, it's mine. Be nice to turn the fucking thing off, wouldn't it?
£2 lump hammer normally works quite well.
I'm gonna hit it. I'm like, come on, dude. There you go.
When I finally got the chain off, so Mr. Harley guy, Mr. Certified Harley Technician, I bought this bike off. Apparently, has never seen a chain of sprockets before because when I took before I even serviced this thing, I went to go check it. I was going to just clean and adjust the chain. There was so much crap on the chain I couldn't tell just how bad it really was. Once I got it cleaned, I could see that there were not only O-rings missing, but some of the rollers were scorched. So I take the sprocket cover off, and the only thing holding the nut on was the retaining washer, and only one tab was bent over instead of three. And I literally twisted it off with my 2 fingers. That was it. If it wasn't really cold when I bought the bike, I would have definitely noticed it when I pulled off because I didn't have to drive that far to get home. So yeah, I'm catching up with most of everything. The last thing I got now is I don't like the electrical terminals I bought weren't proper ones for a motorcycle when I put the turn signals on.
Yeah.
So I don't trust them. So I went and heard Mr. Johnny Cactus's recommendation. I got the proper bullet connectors, and I got the right crimp tool.
The old crimpies? Yeah.
Yeah, the real, and these things were cheap. I mean, they were nothing for an entire bag of 50 of them. I think I paid like $15 US for this whole bag, and the correct crimp tool was $25, and I'll use this for other stuff. And I'm going to solder the crimps after I put them on, so I don't have to worry about any of the wires not making good contact.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great thing about getting it in bulk, and it's, if it's as cheap as it is, it gives you plenty of scope for other things later on. That and it's nice to have plenty of spares in the little old drawers of spare parts. So
well, I got Billy's Rebel back there that probably needs a ton of work on it yet to come. So I mean.
Yeah, well, we as you know, Mike, we've all been sort of following what you've been doing. I mean, obviously you've got 3 bikes to play around with there. I mean, I know Melly's bike is in the background, as you're saying. I don't think your Honda needs too much work now, does it?
Mechanically, it's spotless. There's nothing wrong with it. The only thing I got to do to it in the near future is change the oil. That's it, just a regular oil. I actually just need to. The whole reason I ended up buying this bike, I wasn't really looking for the Speed 4. I was looking for a VFR Honda, like an Interceptor. Because I wanted a bike I could ride every day and not put miles on the Magna, because I want to pull it apart and I want to. I actually found a place to get it painted. The local Triumph dealer also does custom painting at a very reasonable price, and so I don't know how many videos I'll make of it, because really, I don't need any DIY. I guess I would just do them just because it's interesting for somebody, but it's not real. I don't really do DIY videos when it comes to bike stuff. I just this is what I did,
Yeah, I know.
I'm good enough to be dangerous with tools, is what it is.
Yeah, I suppose it's.
I need to pull the Super apart so I can get the tank and the fenders and all that stuff painted up, because it looks good from about 20 feet away, and then you get close to it and you can see there's dings in the tank and it's scratched. It's faded because it's an 88.
Yeah.
So. But most of the other finishes are in good order, or can be polished, because it's just aluminum. So that's the only thing that's left, is the stuff that, I'm reluctant to want to do, because it's a lot of elbow grease, lots of polishing crap and spending hours on it. And I don't know. I'm not lazy, but that's just the kind of really detailed stuff that I just don't want to do. I just want to ride it, So as I pull one bike apart, I'll have the other one to ride, but I've got to get the Speed 4 up to par before I'm comfortable riding it. And it's just about there. The whole drivetrain's sorted out right now. It's get you guys on the move here.
Here we go.
Yeah. So there's I got the new sprocket. I've got the new DID 525 X-Ring chain on there. And I went with I got a 15-tooth front and a 47 rear. Now, the original factory was a 14 and a 45. So it's still kind of the 3-to-1 ratio, but it's a little bit higher. It's 3.59 to 1. And I ended up at 108 links, which was weird because mathematically I worked that out. That's exactly the same number of links that the original chain and sprockets had on it.
Yeah. And
I was wondering why that. I got another story to tell you about that, but anyhow, I'm right at the first indication on the chain slack adjuster. There's like a block of aluminum that slides in the swing arm that has little dots on the swing arm that tells you whether or not you got the left and right side square.
Yeah.
So I know I got tons of adjustment, and it's not the chain's not too short, but they sent me a 112 link chain, which is way too long. So I had fun cutting it down and putting it back together. Then I geeked out on it. I got my dial caliper out and measured 4 links, and then averaged out what the thickness was, and then sat there and adjusted as I pressed on the new plate so that it was the same as the average of 4 links that they factory pressed. Way more detail than I needed to put into it. I'm sure everyone else just breaks it down until it's done, and just bends it and says, "Oh, sorted." What I was going to say is the little aluminum. Here, I can take you guys for a ride. You can see what I'm talking about. The cord's long reach. Actually, I don't need a cord for this.
While you're moving us around, I'm just going to say hello to Greg. Hello, Greg.
Hello. Hello.
How are you, buddy?
Hi, Greg.
I'm all right.
Hey, Greg.
Good,
Hi,
man.
Greg.
I believe it was you that's just trying to call me on my phone was going off. Hey, Greg, I've had some problems with Google. There's been 1 or 2 problems with Hangouts of late, so originally I had the 2 Hangouts, it was 1, then it went up to 2, then I knocked both of them on the head and restarted this one for tonight, so that at least we could get on for 9:30. Yeah, completely nice, really, but there you go. But the main thing is we're on live now, so.
Yeah. So this thing here, it's like an aluminum block. It slides in the swing arm. This thing was actually 90 degrees, so it wasn't touching, the part that is supposed to slide in. So the adjuster for the slack, or not the slack, but the square up the swing arm, it wasn't the same right to left. So the bike actually wasn't tracking square. That was Mr. I'm a Harley technician, I know what I'm doing's job there. There's my new Fuelie pipe. This is incredibly light. I cannot tell you how light that pipe is. It's not just jacketed in carbon fiber. The actual sleeve on the can is carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And they were really good on the phone. Their website didn't delineate the speed forward directly, but I went ahead and called them, even though it was calling the UK. And their customer service was really good. So if anyone considered Fuel as a brand for an exhaust pipe, I can recommend them. They actually made the damn thing to order because they didn't keep it in stock. And they shipped it to my house in 3 days from England, here to Michigan in the U.S. And I was still waiting on the seals from Triumph. They literally made that pipe the day I called them and had it to my house like a couple of days later.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a really good company. I can say nothing but good things about them, and it sounds really good. I had to put the DB killer back in because it was a little too loud.
Yeah. Hey Mike, just going to put you on hold for a second there, buddy. We'll carry on with the roller coaster ride around your trumpet. Right. I'd just like to say hello to Neil, otherwise known as Nick Nelly. How are you, dude?
Hello, chaps. Finally made it.
Hi, Neil.
How you all doing?
Splendid, mate. It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, we've just been sat here farting around, installing plugins and all sorts of rubbish.
Gosh, mate. You don't want to know the roundabouts I had to go to get this hangout going again, because, as you've probably seen, it was originally advertised.
Yeah.
It hadn't came up on my YouTube channel at all, which normally it does. It just gives you a rundown in time.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can sort of, join in through that. If you want to join in through the Q&A, you can join in through the live stream.
Yeah.
You got the hangout button on the left-hand side. You can just, post answers or post questions on the Q&A.
Yeah.
But Google has been a pain in the jacks at the moment. And that.
I wouldn't be here without the missus. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, absolutely. They certainly help. Speaking of which, I'm going to show you something, lads. I'll be back in a minute. You carry on chatting.
Keep your clothes on.
His bike won't fit in his living room, will it?
Oh, that's a big one.
It won't be too bad. You get it in there somehow.
Is that the original then, is it, Mike?
Yeah, that's the howitzer that came with it.
Yeah.
Was that the original pipe, Mike?
Yeah, that's the original exhaust pipe. The fuel carbon fiber pipe is 8.5 pounds lighter than this thing. This thing's stainless on the outside, but when you look down the middle of it, there's all kinds of steel baffles, and they're actually all rusted. So I guess it's only stainless on the outside.
That's a howitzer, Mike.
Yeah, even if you wanted to short it, you couldn't because the ends are welded. And then it's not a straight shot through the pipe with just a DB killer on the end. There's baffles where the exhaust gas has to make like a zigzag all the way down it. It's really heavy.
Yeah, it was about 10 foot bloody long, don't it?
Yeah, it actually used to stick out past the ass end of the Speedy by about that much. And now the new one is, gosh, it's got to be about 2/3 the length of this one. I posted pictures up on the forum of it. I still have yet to get I was going to get a helmet cam video of the new pipe and go out for a ride to the hot dog joint, but I have not made it yet. Of course, working on the house and yard work and everything. Ah, there we go. Krispy Kreme donuts.
Krispy Kreme duff nuts. And that's my wife's tea.
I'm surprised you guys have those in the UK. I mean, they're everywhere here. That's why Americans are so damn fat. But,
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what, mate. You feel as sick as shit if you have 2 of these bloody things.
Only 2? What are you talking about? I see 7 those things in all day long, man.
I don't even know what's in them. I mean, it's all sort. Babe, what's the different flavours in these bloody things?
You name it, it's there, mate.
I think they're diabetes flavored, is what they are.
Yeah, this one says "fat bastard" in the corner, so I might as well.
That's the one to have first.
Fantastic. I think I'll put that to one side, Mrs. You chosen yours yet? You haven't? Okay, I'll put them to one side.
The email is out, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a heavy old box.
If I
Anyway,
get carried away in a tornado, it's because there's huge thunderstorms coming. So
really?
yeah, it's been raining off and on. It went, the last time we had to hang out, it was so cold I had to have a jacket on.
Yeah.
So much for global warming. Now it's incredibly hot and humid out, and there's thunderstorms. So the old joke, the running joke in Michigan is we have 2 seasons, winter and not winter, and it varies on a daily basis. I'm sure what you guys call me, the UK is pretty much the same thing.
Oh, well, it's not extreme. It's just, we're all basically still waiting for summertime to hit. You're waiting for a duration where we last longer than about 3 days with sunshine instead of 2 weeks of rain.
What's the matter with you? We get summer every 12 years.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be so bad, but I work in haulage, and I work outside all the time, and I'm very rarely inside. And it's becoming a bit annoying, getting wet most bloody nights of the week. And especially at this time of year, obviously when you've got more and more mates coming up, and you want to get your bike out. It's you look at the forecast, and it's proposing rain just about every day of every bloody week at the moment. But there you go. Eventually we'll get there, hopefully.
Well, Penny always has her special ordered sunshine for the meet, so.
Yeah, did it stay dry? Did it stay dry at Bishop's?
Yeah, Bishop's is
Yeah,
dry.
yeah, it's nice. Yes.
Because I don't know, because I never made it that far, did I?
Is that a sore subject?
Oh, mate, I tell you, obviously you see the video, mate, and
Actually, your video caused me to make sure I put Loctite on my.
My mate he was so apologetic, mate. I mean, I said the thing that pissed me off most was the fact I handed him the bike bag with 14 quid's worth of fucking fuel. No, it was good of him to lend me the bike. I mean, I just sold a ZZR, and I weren't prepared to travel down to Bishop's on the 600. I just used that for local work. And he said to me, by all means, take a thou. There's a lovely old bike. It's a P-registered Thunder Race. I actually found the bike for him, but he said to me the other day, he said, what? He said, all I've done is I've ridden it. He said, I haven't done anything to it at all. No service work, no nothing. I said, really? I said, I thought you'd probably had a little bit of a service on it then, Rob. He said, no. He said, no, just go in the garage, come out when it's not raining, and go back inside again when I'm done. As I say, got 50 miles on the way, 50 miles down to Bishop's, and like I say, I went to knock it down a gear or two, and realised there was nothing there, just fresh air, and the gear lead was hanging off the selector shaft. There you go. What's that noise?
Who's got the television on it?
Who's got the TV on?
Nelly.
Not
not
this
me.
time.
No, not me.
Sounds like a radio.
Yeah.
Could be.
Shut it.
Don.
Anyway, what's been happening with you then, Nelly?
Not a lot. Work as normal. We had a wheels thing down in Bournemouth this weekend.
Right.
So work 2 days. Got tomorrow off. I'm off for 2 weeks now, so I don't have to do any work for a while. So I'm quite happy about that.
Yeah.
Poor old Del Boy's working today. I don't know about he working tomorrow or not, but
yeah,
it gets pretty busy down here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's loads of tourists down here now, so it's starting to get busy. But kids go back to school again Monday or Tuesday, I think it is. So it's a bit quieter for us.
Yeah, I was gonna say because my daughter's she's just gone away to visit her boyfriend. She went up to Rugeley. She's now back, so yeah, they do go back to school. I believe is it Monday? Yeah, Monday. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all good. I don't know about you. Do you enjoy having the kids at home?
Yes and no. When they're at school, at least you can do something else.
Exactly.
But no, we went out for a nice day in the car.
Really?
Thursday, we had a nice day out, just driving around in the car. It was nice.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do what women do all day long, having them. I had to go up the wall. Going to work is great. You get away from them. I can't say much because she's right there.
Yeah, well, they are a special breed, aren't they? Special.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But I've been building a shed out the back garden, so I've been doing that since sort of Christmassy time. So I've got my old GPZ out there. I started taking it apart and playing with it, so I'll do something with that over there.
Yeah, I did. We spoke about that a couple of months back, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's GBZ9 sitting about there. I thought, what's he going to do? Is he going to flog it or is he going to do it up? You've had it a few years now, haven't you?
Yeah. 7, 8 years, I think, something like that.
Really?
It was my work hack for about 4 years or something.
Yeah.
But it's just tatty, so you'd have to spend thousands on it to get it to look anything decent, so I'm not bothered. So I'll do something silly with it or mess about with it or something.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to... Here we go. The old classic. Rat it, mate. Rat it.
If it did that, it wouldn't be matte black. It'd have to be something different, but I'll do something with it. Something
Red
unusual.
oxide.
Rust, you mean?
Well, yeah, rust.
Leave it out and let it rest.
No desert tan with it.
Yeah.
I got to start a whole new trend in baby shite brown.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Christ. Anyway, Greg, what's been happening in your world, my man?
Well, not much. Working a lot.
Yeah, we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, today been to Hinckley Triumph Owners Club first meeting.
Are you really?
Yeah, 250 miles done
Right.
on Old America. Well, good. Nice people. Really, really good meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm supposed to do something with my body, but I'm not bothered now. I'm just getting lazy and lazy. As you see, as fat as well. Yeah, I look like Jabba here.
I'm glad you said it. Oh, Christ.
True.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't worry about weight no more. I'm telling me now, you know.
I must be the skinniest one on there.
You are.
We hate you.
Yeah. I mean, some people they do. I mean, my mate used to eat snacks of food, and far more than we ever did.
Yeah.
You know, we were twice the size he was, and he never ever got fat. You know, he could eat all sorts of food, but never put any weight on. You know, skinny.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Whereas, you know, like Chris, I know he likes his fried breakfast like I do, and I love. For me too, I just had a love me kebabs and all the good greasy stuff, you know. But you know, if you get a couple of free meals like that during a week, you know, come the end of the week, you start feeling it. You really do start feeling it, you know.
Yeah.
So I eat plenty of salad, don't I, babe? Oh, excuse me. That's not the need for that. But yeah, so I don't give a monkey's.
Yeah.
Really. You know, at the end of the day, I don't ride a 50cc thing anymore, so, you know, that's still going to tow me about the streets.
I think we struggle with a 50cc moped on now.
Jesus Christ. They're the days, mate, AP 50s and fizzies.
Fizzy, yeah, Christ. First 50 I ever had was a Batavus moped.
A what?
Batavus. Batavu. I think they're Eastern European or something.
Ah, them ones.
Hey, I've never heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On my first one, I know we've just sort of gone off a bit of a tangent here, but my first one was a Motorbicane Mobilette.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One you used to have to pedal, you know, a little.
Yeah.
And the guy used to go to the fuel station. They used to have a 2-in-1
squirt.
Yeah, a little squirt. You just pump it up, and you see the oil being mixed up with the fuel, and you just use a tiny little tank, you know.
Yeah, a couple of my mates had Pooch Maxi step throughs.
Pooch Maxis, mate. Yeah, Christ alive.
I got this Batavus and had a petrol tank between my legs, so it looked like a proper motorbike on the bee's knees, and they all got step throughs.
But even in them days, Even in them days, you know, you had this, the old Mobile X and like the Pushas and all that, tiny little silencers.
Yeah.
Tiny little silencers. Now, they did have a tiny little baffle.
Mm.
You remove the baffle.
Yeah.
And you'd fly around the streets like a fucking, like a wasp. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it.
You know, checking to see who you were pissing off down the streets. You know?
That's
And
right.
people chasing you with newspapers and stuff and walking sticks.
Yeah. That's the first thing we did when we got your fizzy. Take the baffle out of your fizzy. Sounded horrible, but you thought you was going really fast, but.
Oh, Christ, yeah. I mean, even they used to make little micron cans, don't they, for them?
Yeah, I had a full Fresco on mine.
Yeah.
Black one. Just hack it off. Just keep the downpipe. Just hack it off. Put a Fresco on it. Bolt it on. Off we go.
Happy days. They were the days, weren't
Oh yeah.
they? Yeah. What about you, Chris? What was? Well, I think we spoke about this before.
My first bike.
Yeah.
My first bike was a Kawasaki KE175.
Nice, mate. Nice. Yeah. Green?
Of course. Oh yeah.
Because they did do that in blue and purple, don't they? I think.
They did blue one, red one, orange one, green one, and I think they did a white one as a limited edition.
Oh,
But
right.
the bulk of them were green.
Yeah. A175. Quite a reliable little old bike and thing, weren't they? Good.
I'll tell you what, nothing ever went wrong with it. Ever.
Disc valve, weren't they? Were they disc valve or reed valve?
Reed valve, wasn't it?
Reed valve. It was a reed valve, yeah, because I remember I changed the reeds and I put Boyson racing reeds in it.
Yeah, the old Boysons. Yeah.
And a power can.
Did you notice a difference?
No, did I fuck?
No, not at all.
It's more fuel.
But you,
I'll tell you something now. The guy over the road from me used to have the KDX, so the Enduro version of mine.
Yeah.
And whatever I did to mine,
No
the
chance.
guy that ran the local shop said to me, that'll catch up with him. That will catch up with him. Do you know what I said?
No. We're not going
Well,
I went out and
what
bought
you
KDX
don't
in the
understand
end.
is he didn't need you'll catch up to him in speed. He'll catch up to how much money he spent on it eventually.
Yeah. I ended up buying a KDX, but I mean the KE was pretty good. Top end, it would just touch 90 if I laid on the tank.
It farted.
Yeah, probably. With a tailwind. Downhill.
yeah.
Light it up and stick it behind you. A little jet propulsion.
Do you
I
know
was
what?
surprised actually. It was pretty for its age and what was going around at the time. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was more than a match for the old DTMX.
Yeah, I had the DT175, the twin shot before the MX. That was my first big-ish bike.
Is that the one they just called the Enduro?
Yeah.
I know.
Big fat ugly exhaust at the side, horrible thing.
Oh
But it
yeah,
was 175.
the KE had a crap exhaust. That went straight in the fucking dustbin. Fresco went in there. Had a Fresco front and an SM Stinger tailpipe.
Yeah. Crap brakes on them all. Oh, drum brakes, rubbish. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
didn't use them.
We're mainly talking about two-strokes. Now, I was never really a two-stroke fanatic, right? But I mean, the occasional two-stroke that I did have was a lot of fun. And I went to buy one of the most exciting fun bikes I ever owned was a 250X7. And it had the had the reeds on it, and it also had the I don't know whether it was microns or there was another one.
all speeds.
All speeds.
All speeds, and they sound a little bit more high pitched and a bit tinnier. The all speeds, but I'll tell you what, the power band on that little old thing. I mean, you just about hit a ton before you blew the top out of the piston.
Yeah.
You know, but for a fun bike, so light.
Yeah.
So light. You know, the front end used to be up in the air most of the time. Well, it would be because I was a fat prat and used to sit further back on the seat. But I mean,
Before the LC, they were the bike to have then.
oh man, yeah, I'll tell you. But that's another story. I remember when I first bought my. This is before the GPZ 600R came out. I bought the GPZ 550.
Yeah.
And that was the A2. They had the original one, which I think was the H, if I'm right in saying, but they had the A2. And that was 65 horsepower, supposedly, and a top speed of around 123 mile an hour. And I loved that bike for 2 weeks. You know what? My mate went out, he said, Mark, I just bought this Yamaha, this RD 350. Yeah?
Not a chance.
And I'd tell mate, that I thought I had a chance, but did I?
No.
Whether it be looks, it was a better looking bike because the LCs were lovely looking bikes, I think.
Oh
Yeah,
but
next to no power under a power band, but I tell you what, as soon as they hit that power band, man, I'll tell you what, them things used to take on 750s, 850s. You know, you had something like an old CB 900F, right? You forget it, mate. You got 350 LC, man, that's going to blow everything in the weeds.
I'll tell you what, my first experience with an LT 350, I was sat at a set of traffic lights on my mate's Z1300. And I sat there and I could hear this thing, bing, 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 come up behind me. It sounded like the fucking frog. And I looked at it, and it's the first time I'd ever seen one, and I'm thinking, that don't sound too bad. Well, when them lights changed, mate, I gave that 1300 everything. And I was just looking at the back of the LC pulling away from me. I thought I'd make out a gear problem here. It was embarrassing.
Fantastic bikes. I mean, nowadays you see it's quite a collector's club with the LCs now. They are making some silly money.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But I don't know about you, lads. I actually preferred the look of the original 350 LC as to the power valve. Me personally.
Yeah. The LC does look better than a power valve. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the second-hand market now, the original LC is worth about another £800 over the power valve.
Is that really?
Par and par condition. Yeah. And when you think they're older.
Oh, absolutely. But then, I remember, Chris, you were talking about. It's probably going about 6 months about possibly getting hold of a 500 LC, weren't you?
Yeah.
Have you got 10 grand?
Well, it's surprising. You can pick up the 500 for around $5,000.
Yeah.
But they were just stupid money. I mean, you get a real sorted one, you're looking at 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I wanted to get something like that for a project bike.
Yeah.
It's just too much money, so I need to do a couple of project bikes before I get one. Something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just got a picture of one.
I thought you were getting another donut, you fat fuck.
Have you eaten them like that?
What a bastard. Hold on a minute. It's fucking in here somewhere. You keep chatting, lads. I've got this fantastic picture of this guy's redesigned a 500 LC.
That's a Playboy you're reading. Don't give me an LC in there.
What about can you do get Castrol?
Yeah, I love Castrol.
Start, mate.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You still buy it?
Yeah.
Really?
Still buy it?
Yeah. I've not seen it for ages, but I smelt it about a week ago on a bike that went past. I nearly fell over my tongue.
Oh, I loved it.
Step through, was it?
Do you know what? I can't even remember what it was. I was just in town, and the smell. My tongue was like dribbling.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you see a two-stroke, even a step through go past you, oh yeah, the smell, two-stroke.
Yeah. That's probably the bloke who was riding it.
Two-strokes
really
these
big.
days, is it?
Yeah.
You didn't have too many in the States, did you, Mike? They sort of banned them because of emissions.
Not for street bikes. I mean, for dirt bikes, or enduros, but because we've never had a tiered licensing. Like in the UK, I guess even in the past, you guys had some kind of entry level license. In most states in the U.S., one weekend you get a license, you can buy a Hayabusa.
Yeah.
My first bike was an '86 Magna VF700 with the square headlight, but it was still a V4. That was my first bike. I mean, I had tooled around on dirt bikes and stuff that my friends had, so I mean, I knew at least a little bit how to ride. And then after I got that bike, I went and I had enough common sense because my dad made me go out and take a safety course, so I didn't put the bike off into the weeds right away. But that bike still had, I think, maybe 90 horsepower. For an 18-year-old kid floating around on a 90 horsepower bike, that's what can I say? I was young. I wasn't bright. I love that bike. I bet you the guy who bought it from me still has it. because it was. Magnas tend to either be complete piles of garbage that no one ever takes care of, or they're immaculate. You know, people really hang on to them. They have a following, like the VMAX does. You know.
Yeah.
But you don't see a lot of 125s or 250s in the States unless you go really old. You have to get a bike from back in the 60s or 70s to find something that small. Because when Honda started punching out the CBs up to like, you know, CB 550 and 750, people weren't buying small bikes. Because what happens is, you know, because there's no progressive licensing system, you get a 250, you ride it for 6 months, and then your friends are blowing past you on 600s, and you're like, screw this, I'm going to go get a new bike. So people don't bother holding on to small bikes for a long period of time.
No.
So they never get a good appreciation for them. That's why, you know, or I guess CC for CC, the two-stroke's going to make more power. And I don't know how many of you guys watch Barrett Von Grumble. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I watch it from time to time because it's on YouTube. I don't really watch TV. He did some kind of review of a KTM 125, and I guess one of his friends had a two-stroke. He couldn't keep up. He could not keep up at all, and I think the two-stroke was smaller. It would constantly just blow past him like he was standing still. And the KTM was brand new. It's fuel injected, you know, 4-stroke engine, state of the art for a 125. It even looked like a little race bike. You know, it has the fairings on it and everything. It might as well been a bicycle as far as he could not keep up.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember when 4-strokes first started to take over from 2-strokes, and in the racing circles, what they used to do was if you had a 125 2-stroke, you'd be racing 250 4-strokes, and if you had like a 400 or anything between 300 and 500 cc 2-stroke, you were racing 750 upwards on a 4-stroke bike and comparable speeds.
Yeah. Garrett, I mean, going back to the 70s, I was reading about this the other day. I mean, you think the likes of Hera Suzuki, most of your teams, or 90, I would say nearly 100% of the bikes, even back in the through the 70s and the 80s, especially the Grand Prix saga, were 2-strokes. You know, and I think the big difference is you do the Grand Prix, and then you had World Superbikes came along, with the likes of Terry Reimer on and so forth, who then brought the production 4-strokes into racing. In
comparison, like a big changeover period.
Yeah, absolutely. In comparison with the Grand Prix, it was the 2-stroke was with the Grand Prix, and the 4-strokes obviously with the Superbikes. But thinking now, I mean, I haven't seen a motorcycle Grand Prix for a good couple of 3 years now. I'm going to ask you a question: how many 4-strokes and how many 2-strokes in a standard Grand Prix nowadays?
No 2-strokes at all.
No 2-strokes.
No 2-strokes at all.
No. Not even in the Motor 3 in the little ones.
No. Really?
They're all 4-stroke. Yeah. What we used to watch in the Grand Prix is the 125s. I think they're now a 300 or a 350.
Really?
Yeah. But the 4-stroke, I think it's 300 cc.
Yeah.
And they still do like 100. I think it's 145.
Yeah. Of course, I remember the Grand Prix days when you still had, when you watched it on the telly, you had obviously the 500s, you had the 250s, you had the 125s, and you had the 80s. Then you had the late 80cc bikes.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of them top lads actually started riding with the 80cc bikes, don't they? You know?
One of my mates is a replica. I think is it a Honda NSR 500 V4 2-stroke built.
Yeah.
He had the engine built in the UK. He's having the frame built in Australia, and it's due back how much it's costing. Custom built from the ground up.
Yeah.
What's that he's using? Is that an NS400 engine or was it an NSR?
It's actually Yamaha. You know, Yamaha Yamaha's did a V4. The Yamaha V4 racing engine, 2-stroke. They did a road version. I don't ask the numbers. I don't know what they are. They did a road version of it, and the road version had 2 crankshafts. And the engine he's got, because they couldn't find one, is on that. But it altered all the valves, all the intakes, all the carburetors and things.
there was a place in Australia, I think it's TSS, and they were building frame kits and tuning up V4s, 500s, and I think they went bust a couple of years ago. And they were doing loads of trick stuff for 500 two-strokes, building them up, special forks and everything. But I think they went bust a couple of years ago. But they were the place.
Yeah, I mean that's where it is. It's in Australia. It's due back in a minute.
Yeah.
I dare say we'll see it when he's got it done. But he's a nutcase. He does classic bike racing, and he's got all sorts of things. He's got something called a Moto Martin. Well, he's got two Moto Martins, which are sort of like a French Harris, sort of thing. He races a couple of those. He's the most unlikely motorcyclist ever you saw him. You'd expect him to be on a cruising bike, not a race bike. But
what are you?
I've just seen what you put up, Wiggy.
What's that?
I love Duff Nuts.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, lads. I mean, we've been doing these hangouts for a few weeks now, right? And obviously, we've all done them in the past, and God knows what. I sort of do them fairly regularly with other lads, but there's a lot of extra bits and pieces on here. You've got your hangout toolbox. You've got all special effects. If you go to the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see a pop-up bar come out, and there's all sorts of stuff on here. You can have a real stack load of fun, and there's all sorts of garments and wigs and moustaches and all that sort of shit, and there's all sound effects. I want to bring up the sound effects because they're quite comical, actually. Keep guessing, keep guessing. Hold on, where are we? Control room. I don't know what the hell that one.
What was that engine in that your mate's Moto Martin then? An old 4-cylinders?
Yeah, a Suzuki. Air-cooled.
What, GS or something?
Yeah, 750 and 1000.
Yeah.
I didn't.
He goes. Sorry, Wiggy, go on.
Sorry, I didn't hear a bloody word of that. You're going, ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
So that's the wilds of Essex, you see, mate. We don't have broadband.
No, you stolen somebody else's phone line, didn't you? Stuffed it down the back of your router.
You know that, don't you?
Sorry, mate. You carry on.
Yeah. Did you hear the bit about the engines on the Suzuki, Neil?
No.
Air-cooled Suzuki GS engine or whatever it was.
Yeah. So he's got a 750 and a 1000. So.
Oh yeah.
Two bikes.
Yeah, lovely.
I'm really surprised with the modern technology of things like, not just the fuel injection, but direct injection, where it's directly injected into the cylinder itself under high pressure, and things like pneumatic or electro-pneumatic valves. That two-strokes aren't making a comeback because, with computer technology and all these other things, it's possible to make one that will meet emission standards and yet still produce a lot of power for a small engine. Yeah. And I would think that would be ideal for motorcycling, because I was just thinking about the post I put up on the forum about the PGM V8, the 334 horsepower V8 bike. It's cool. It sounds awesome, right? But that thing's got to weigh a ton. It's not like you're going to really have fun in the corners of that. It's just something to have to brag about, especially when you start it, when the neighbors and the kids run for their lives just because you turned it over. But I would have to think that for a motorcycle, smaller or lighter with more horsepower would be definitely, have a huge advantage. Certainly would handle better.
Well, it gets ever so complicated.
They've got to be working on it. It makes sense. I've also read information about things like hybrid drive systems for bikes, where you have. I was reading about it. It was. Aprilia was actually thinking about doing this on a production sport bike where there's no transmission. What they do is they have something that's analogous to a CVT, but they use an electric traction motor to overcome the inertia at rest. And, add to the power of the regular
You're a plonker, Wiggy.
He's having too much fun with that. I just noticed what you guys were laughing at. So. That technology is really cool if you think about it. Like, you don't have a transmission. There's not even a clutch. You just have this weird CVT and an electric motor. that supplements when the gas engine's like horsepower and torque curve falls off. And you can literally program what RPM your power comes in at just based upon how much energy the electric motor is putting into the system.
Two strokes.
Wow.
I saw something in a magazine a couple of years ago. I think it was mostly for the military. They were, can't remember the company's name. I don't know if it's Can-Am or someone, but somebody, they were developing two strokes, and they said we could do it, or they could do it straight away. I think it was Lotus actually, and they said they could develop two strokes that were more powerful, more better emissions, and much better than what we've had. Like sort of, I don't know, RGV 250 was the last sort of proper two-stroke, or Aprilia 250. But it's a lot of it is to do with Honda. Honda hate two-strokes. They're the ones that started it and tried to kill off. That's why it's gone over to four-strokes in racing.
Yeah.
Because they tried with the NR and SR 500 to beat the two-strokes, and they couldn't do it. 20,000 RPM, they still couldn't beat them. So the only way they could do it was to drive them out of Grand Prix. That's why there's no two-strokes in Grand Prix racing anymore. It's all bloody four-strokes.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, ban them, right?
Yeah, that's it. If you can't beat them, but change the rules. That's the only way you'll get rid of them.
Which is what they do. You know, when there have been Formula One car racing, we've seen that so many times over the years. You know, obviously with the motorcycle thing, it's been exactly the same. You know, going back to the days. You know, we all remember these. You know, we're talking about the old race of aces back in 1988, when you had the old RC30s and you had the Nortons.
The Nortons, same thing. They couldn't touch the Nortons.
Couldn't touch it.
So
you know, we've spoken about this before. I mean, at the end of I don't think the Nortons quite. They weren't of the handling of the RC30. Nowhere near as good as an RC30 handling wise. But you put them on a straight line, and they just left them for dead. I remember that rabbit straight time and time again.
That was a rotary engine, wasn't it?
That was, mate, 588cc rotary,
Yeah, Rocket Ron.
It was, mate, yeah. We had I'm trying to think, it was
Steve Spray,
Trevor Nation. Yeah. You know, and they loved them. I mean, and they raced them. They raced them quite well around the Isle of Man as well. I believe they did pull a win or two on the Nortons.
Yeah, Steve Hislop got the fastest lap. Yeah.
Stevie Hislop, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've got in mind.
Coming up soon.
Say again?
So the Isle of Man's coming up soon, right? The TT.
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah.
You guys are lucky because you could actually go there. I would have to take an extended vacation again.
But the thing is, Mike, I'd have to sell me ZX12 to get there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not a cheap place to go, not unless you're a regular. You know, if you're a regular and you've been there for years, generally speaking, the same people who go across every year, they tend to book the same hotel or the same bed and breakfast and all that sort of stuff.
It isn't the actual travel; it's the cost once you get there to stay there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. I mean, the steam packet ferry service is not it's not extortionate. What? They still run the steam packet service, don't they?
Yeah.
It's not what he's laughing at.
What's that? What's the matter there?
They got a monopoly, in there. They can do what they like. They can charge what they like.
Oh, of course, mate. Yeah, because they can. Yeah. What's that fucking noise? Someone's telly?
No, that's interference.
Is it time for another donut?
It's always time for another donut.
I'll tell you what, mate. Now you've mentioned it, I'm going to have one. Because I haven't had one yet. I don't know which one.
Is that grape juice you're drinking, Wiggy?
Yeah, that's it's purple grape.
Purple grape, so nice and healthy, and a box of fucking donuts.
That's what a fat bastard does, mate. Stuff your face full of shit and wash it down with some vitamin C. Yeah. I don't know which one you're at.
Your private life's your own, mate.
Yeah, I know. She's in the kitchen doing the
I'm just going to grab another beer because I'm out. So.
Fucking that ain't nice. Oh, I don't even know what's in it. Fucking nice, man.
A lot of them have got custard in.
Yeah, I don't know what this one is, mate. That's
What colour?
Shit.
Fucking It's white and sticky.
Oh, that's getting dirty now.
You sure they're not being fettled with
I'll
before?
tell you what, mate. Fucking great laugh, mate. You'll get some of these when you come down the ice, mate. You can try that.
They got a special filling, have they?
Fucking hell. They've probably got a little hole in the back, so.
Oh dear.
You say that. We've got the ice in a couple of weeks, haven't we?
We have.
3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah.
We have.
Well,
Yeah.
Everybody going?
Go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up there, Neil? Yeah.
Yeah. Should be.
Greg?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Steve, you're
miss
going as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't
can't
miss that.
find my Idiot Collective cup. I don't know where it is.
Oh,
Give
Disaster.
Penny a shout, get another one.
Greg,
Yeah.
you're meeting up with Biz, aren't you?
Hmm?
You're meeting up with Biz, you know, the other
Yeah,
lad,
yeah.
and also Wakey Warrior's coming down as well, I think.
Fucking hell was that?
Shut that door.
I don't know who is coming, but we're meeting on Northampton services anyway.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, that is nice. No, that is just custard, mate.
Oh,
Horrible.
Anyway,
you know what? That's not really custard in there. That's polish for the bike.
Hey,
I'll tell you what. I've given up polishing bikes.
No,
Yeah, right. Rubbish.
why are you picking on me again?
And I'm vegetarian.
I weigh 8 stone.
Neil, be quiet.
What about the other leg? What you done to your bike then, Wiggy? Have you got much
Polished
to
it.
do to it?
Oh, I don't watch it. Who? What?
Have you got any more to do to it?
Which one?
The new one. ZX12.
No, not really, mate. It's, just bring up the speed. I don't want to sort of, because you'll see it at the ice anyway and have a good look around it. Now, what a great deal to do, mate. I was looking for so long, and luckily enough, Steve, Steve on the forum, he went and looked at a bike for me, and that was only 2,600. But I knew that was probably a bit hit and miss. But he took a load of pictures for me, and he recorded a video which he stuck up on his YouTube channel, and he hadn't realised it at the time. He hadn't even noticed. But when I watched the YouTube channel, his YouTube channel with this particular bike running, there was a prominent knock. You know, and it was it sounded like a I'm gonna say a gearbox bearing, selector bearing, something that was going to cost money, something that was going to mean an engine strip down. So I knocked that one on the head. Since then, I've looked at about physically, I've seen about 5-6 bikes, and I've been looking on eBay, Gumtree, Auto Trader for about the last 6-7 months. And this one come up, and it's absolutely fantastic, mate. I'm not gonna blow my own trumpet, but it's everything I really possibly could have wanted in a ZX12. It really is fantastic. 18,000 miles. It's 2005, and the guy who owned it, he really didn't want to sell it, and the only reason he sold it was they do track days, him and his wife, and he just bought a extra long wheelbase Sprinter van. He's going to spend £22,000 on it, having it converted to a two bike mobile home, so they can do more and more track days. And that's the only reason he sold it. And believe you me, mate, I couldn't be happier with it. It's absolutely fucking phenomenal. I know, you know, we've all had powerful bikes, but this one, I mean, I thought the ZZR was a powerful little scoot. But that ain't nothing, man. There's nothing compared to this dude. It's just so much fun. It really is.
You got to remember your license, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, but it's you know when you get these little moments like you know you see, especially with Chris's videos, you know, and when he's doing sort of nearly 70 mile an hour sometimes.
At times.
You know, and,
70 miles an hour.
to have that, I mean, the fact is, you know, obviously the fuel injection as to the old carb is far much more direct. You flip that throttle and that power's there. It's there instantly. Yeah. And to be quite honest with you, I knew they were a powerful bike. I knew pretty much, and I sort of test ridden a few and knew how they handled. But this one being a newer one with less miles on it, it is as sweet as the proverbial nut. Well, I'm saying, you know, I was saying too much more about it.
You like say less miles on a bike that has like 17,000 miles or whatever. In the States, people treat bikes that have more than 10,000 miles on them like they're garbage. Like,
Oh, believe you me, mate, it's garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like. Well, it's a different concept, I think, because it depends on what part of the states you're in. But a lot of in the northern areas, like in Michigan, for sure, this is absolutely true. Bike gets 10,000 miles on it, doesn't matter how old it is, it's garbage. Not that it actually is garbage. The opinion is that it's garbage, and you need to go out and buy a new bike. And a lot of that, is around the older Harleys, which were very unreliable. You would never get 10,000 miles on a Harley, and if you got close to that, it was going to need a lot of engine work. And so that, when I tell people that my Speed 4 has 17,000 miles, and they're like, "And you bought it with that many miles?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, you could put 50,000 miles on it. Johnny Cactus had a Speed 4. It was a bike. I guess he had it 4 years ago. He was telling me about it because I was asking him about maintenance items on my bike, and his mate he sold it to is still riding it after Ian put like over 50,000 miles on that bike, and it still runs like a top 4 years later.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's like you say low miles in my brain. I'm like, that's a lot of miles. What are you talking about? But it's a different perspective.
Cheers for that. You fucking burst me bubble now, you bastard.
You've been stitched up like a kipper.
Yeah. I just want to write the old sack of shit. Yeah. No, that's what you say.
Your bike is beautiful. What are you talking about? That thing looks brand new.
But in the end, I'll tell you what, the place that if you go to China, I mean, they don't even have a second-hand market. China, not really. That's why all their stuff gets shipped abroad.
Whether it wants to or not.
Yeah, well, yeah. Such is the quality of the shit that they chuck out anyway. I've just my boy is just passed his CBT for the second time. He I don't know if I told you, but he already had a CBT that covered him up for a 125 on a scooter. Well, now he's told me that he wants to progress onto a 125 geared motorcycle. So I said, well, the only way you're going to do that is by retaking the CBT on a geared bike, which gladly he did, and he passed with flying colours. So we're now in the process of looking for a nice little 125, and I recommended to him. I've never actually owned one, but I've recommended to him that he has like a little trials bike, something like an XL 125 type bike, whether it be a Yamaha or.
Is he looking for a used one or a new one or?
Nah, used one, mate. It's going to be his first 125. Just to have it for a year, 2 years, as long as it's maintained. It don't really bother me if it costs £500 or £1,000, but no more than that really, because as it progresses, and hopefully he'll do his test. And with the such is the higgledy-piggledy way that we have to go through getting licenses nowadays in this country. Bit different than when we did it, but it's a long, drawn-out process. So he's more than likely, if I'm right in saying, he's 17, so he's probably going to have the 125 for about 2 years, I think, if I'm right in saying. But yeah, that's all good anyway. So we're looking for a 125.
Yeah, trail bike would be better for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
he will drop it at some point, even if it's like at a petrol station or something. You will drop it, and they're physically taller.
Yeah, because he's 6 foot 6'2". He's only 17, 6'2", and so I said to him, I say something like a little, as I called him, trial bike. Yeah. XL 125. They got the height, and to me, when you're that sort of age, you probably have more fun taking it off road. If you can, a little bit of green laning. Yeah. And yet they're still enjoyable on the road. So, they get the best of both worlds, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
What a lot of people will do here is they in the States you can legally convert a dirt bike. I mean, you have to put signals on it and a headlight. Yeah. A lot of these guys will turn them into supermotos, even like the two-stroke ones. They'll relace the hubs. They'll put on a wider wheel set on it so they can put street tires on it. And a lot of kids that get into the riding, they'll get on those because they can hoon the crap out of those and have a whole lot of fun. I see these kids all over town riding wheelies up and down Harper Avenue here where I live on their little. You can tell they're ones that they made because to buy one like that's too expensive. But you can get, especially Michigan, because we have so much off-roading here. As you get further up north, you run out of civilization very quickly, and everybody has dirt bikes and snowmobiles and ATVs, and we have a lot of power sports in this state, but it's not really motorcycles per se. It's mostly like all the off-road stuff. And so you can pick up a dirt bike super cheap and then convert it to ride on the street and just hoon the crap out of it, know. Especially a two-stroke, man. You can just burn tires all day long with a two-stroke. It's crazy. We got a guy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. We touched on the subject when Dale was on here, didn't we? About how in the States, obviously, you got this much bigger. You've got all the land, you've got all the facilities to be able to do that. Over in here, in the UK, you can't. You just haven't got the areas to be. I mean,
I'm more than willing to start adopting people. They could start coming over here. The neighbor next door still hasn't sold his house. There's 2 houses down the street for sale, and our neighborhood's cheap too. So.
Well, I thought Chris said he was coming over.
Yeah,
we can all go over.
Next door. It's supposed to be a secret, but you'll love it. When Chris comes, we've got, let's see, there's a liquor store down the street within walking distance, beside a hardware store, and there's a gun shop across the street where you can build custom AR-15s.
Oh, lovely.
It's been years since I've been in a gun shop.
Have you got a Dunkin' Donuts shop?
Snacks and firearms all at the same time on your way home, within walking distance. So.
Yeah, so you got a real thing. We got poxy little things that shoot plastic pellets.
No. Trust me.
No, I used to have a 2.2 air rifle once upon a time. Yeah, it was to shoot blue tits.
We saw air rifles at regular department stores. Kids buy them all the time. There's no age limit on a BB gun.
Really?
You can just buy one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The store might have a limit, but there's no legal limit that says you have to be a certain age to buy a BB gun. No. You can go shoot birds and squirrels all day long in this state with a BB gun, and no one's going to yell at you. Police might get angry if you got one of those CO2 powered ones because they're so loud, not because of the air, but the little I think it's a .177 pellet actually goes super high. So when it comes out the end of the CO2 powered rifle, it sounds like a .22 rifle going off. You hear this loud crack because the little tiny pellet's going supersonic. And kids could just buy them, go into the store, pick one up, no licensing or any of that crap. I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of cool to have that kind of freedom in the U.S., and then other times you get some real idiots that buy that kind of stuff who probably should never have it. I think they should have an instant IQ test in some cases. If such a thing were possible, you could implement that pretty easily, Like push your finger down like a fingerprint reader and it reads your IQ, and if you're too stupid, you just can't buy certain things. Waggy's backgrounds are cracking me up.
Yeah, I'm just pissing about with these backgrounds.
So I just had a quick look through some of them.
Yeah, all right.
They should, going back to that firearms thing, Mike, they should have like an anti-redneck button on them.
Those are the ones those are the people who buy them all the time. What are you talking about? They're like one's never enough, You only got 2 hands, but apparently you need 500 guns. So.
Fuck me, everyone's having a go now.
Hold on. I'll tell you what, let's all do it. Yeah, a real fucking proper biker's hang with some stupidity, all right? Hold on. There you bastards, really.
The crowd's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Kiara, darling, Kiara.
Oh.
Oh, very nice.
What a clown.
Oh, no. So the thing is, you can still be serious like this.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
You could try.
But, no, seriously. Come on, Greg. Come on, join in the fun, mate.
I can't do it on mine.
Yes, you can.
I was trying.
If you go into effects, Greg, you'll get it, because I can't get it on draw, but I can get it on effects.
Wow, it's too difficult. Fucking foreign language for me.
It's a foreign language for me, mate.
Fucking is from me, mate.
Right, double foreign for me.
Right, on the left-hand side, fourth one up, Google Effects, mate.
No.
Oh, that's better.
That's sweet, mate. Right.
These stupid effects we got here.
Anybody watching this is going to think we're a bunch of fucking idiots.
We are.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's try and be serious. Come on, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Captain Pugwash there, Chris.
Yeah, that's my old nickname.
Oh, let's get really stupid. Let's see what we got here. There. Hold on. Which one here?
So,
What?
I got a question. I've been looking for some bags for the bike, like this bag here.
Go on, mate. I'll tell you, the best one is a grasshopper. Hold on. That's superb, especially when they go quiet. Yeah, ready? Hold on. Where are we? Here you go. Ready? Yeah, sorry, Mike. You carry on, mate. We're going to be serious now,
That's
mate.
cool. I was just I'm trying to look for a set of bags that go on the sport bike because I mean, the Speed 4 doesn't have any kind of
No.
hard mounting points for any kind of like Givy bags or the hard cases.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because I would like to go on a couple of long trips with it, but there's no provisions. Even if I take the decal off here, there's not really anywhere to mount anything. Well, I could always fab something up out of like aluminum brackets, but somebody has to make a decent set of bags, because they're only as good as getting hit in the rain, right? As soon as you get in the rain at about 50, 60 miles an hour, all your crap gets wet and your weekend is ruined,
Lee's looking really fucking confused now.
You're asking a serious question.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
All right, mate, how you doing?
I've been trying to work out how to get in for ages. I haven't been. I've only just gone back onto the. It wasn't there. Either that or I couldn't spot it.
Fucking, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I've got some. Google could probably add a few more effects, mate. I mean, these are pretty good, aren't they? They're like a piss ball about with this shit.
Fucking bored.
Who wants to talk about bikes when you can have a fuck around?
Yeah. Here you go, dog, dirty dog. Really?
Has anybody posted any questions, Weggy?
No. Let's have a look here. Let's go back to the Q&A.
Is there anybody else?
Mickey boy, what's this about? A bunch of idiots. That's what it's about. Hello, Mickey boy. Anyway, Scott, we've got Scott around. I see Scott's floating about.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Scott. How are you, buddy?
I am good, sir. How are you?
Fantastic, mate. We're trying to have a serious meeting here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, all right.
You look like you need neuter.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up with your webcam, mate? Is your camera going down, or?
Well, I was going to go out into the yard, and it rained. So
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, get your cam on and join us.
But I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time taking you seriously.
Really? No, we're not. We're being quite serious, mate. We're not messing about. I'll tell you what. You have a look at Greg. I mean, Greg just had the old tiara thing on. You know, I thought it said Triumph on the top. Well, I'm sure. Not really.
This
These are
whole
excellent.
thing is going sideways now. You know?
No, seriously. Anyway, let's get rid of this bloody thing here for a minute. I've got to go back to Google Effects. Let's get back on track. Remove all effects. Happy days. Here we go again. What day of the week is it? No, it's Saturday.
Monday.
What? That's the one. That's the one.
Gotta hope not.
Right, anyway, Greg,
Yes.
what have you been up to with your particular motorcycle, my man?
Say again.
What have you been up to anything with your Triumphs?
No. Well, I got another tank I'm working on, but it's a bit slow progress in it. Well,
Yeah.
I said my mate, my boss, that I'm gonna bring to work and stay after work and do it, because in the garage it's just impossible. I have no electrics in the garage. I need some, some bits of sanding to do, and then I thought, take it to work. It's nice, warm, no moisture, and probably will be quick.
Well, what bike you got, Greg?
Oh,
What bike do you ride?
Triumph Bonneville and Triumph America.
Put it this way, Lee. When he turns up at the Ace, he won't be in the bins.
No, no.
He won't be parking 4.5 fucking miles down the road. Right?
Are you doing the Ace, Lee?
Well, I it's one of them weather permitting things, to be honest. I'm not a lover. To tell you the truth, I'm not a lover of the Ace Cav. And well, if the weather's alright, I'll pop round for an hour or so. But I'm not a particular fan of the Ace Cav. Never have been, to be honest with you. But I'll pop round, say hello, and have a cup of tea.
Absolutely. We're going to leave Neil with the effects because it's right.
He's working out new helmet design. That's what he's doing.
I'll tell you what. That's come on an absolute treat, isn't it?
I'm saying nothing.
So can we leave you with the sound effects, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be quite happy on my own here. I'll be in the corner.
Anyway, it's good to see you on here, Lee.
Yeah, likewise. Like I say, I've been trying to get on for a while, but for some reason or other, I couldn't manage to get myself involved. But yeah, found it. Happy day.
Yeah, I'll just say normally I just post up the link. I mean, I did have some trouble, as you probably heard, with Google. Google's been a bit of a sod the last few weeks with various things, bits and pieces. So I thought, bollocks, I looked at the two that I'd originally done one, as you do. I mean, you can't do two bloody hangouts on the same fucking night. But so two hangouts had come up, whereas I'd only produced one. So I thought, and I was having trouble getting us all on air and getting ready for tonight, so I thought, stuff it, I'll leave them ones alone and start a brand new one. And luckily enough, Google seemed to have got their stuff sorted out, so I could get it onto YouTube, streaming live, so that everybody else, if they wanted to, could join the Q&A. Well, that's a complete waste of time, because no one's popped any fucking questions anyway, but there you go. Right, because we are idiots, mate. They're probably watching and thinking, I wonder how I do that then. Right, but yeah, it's all working well now. So we've got all the effects. Obviously, Nelly's enjoyed himself, as we all have been, and all's good. Fantastic. This is where the donuts gone.
She's at them all.
She's taking
She
all the
took them
donuts.
away from you.
Yeah.
It's a nice bike you bought there, Weggy. It looks sorry, I don't know your name, mate. I have to apologise if I start using everyone's screen names, because I don't know your by first names.
What is your name, Wiggy?
Hey?
What's
What is
my
your name,
name?
Wiggy? Mark, what is your name?
What's my name? Mark.
Oh yeah, that's it. I remember that.
Yeah. So if we go along here, we've got Greg, we have Scott, we have Mike, we have Neil, we have Steve. Stephen or Steve?
Steve.
Steve. We have Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
We have Chris.
Fat bastard.
Hi.
I didn't say that.
Guilty as charged.
So there we go.
I was listening to you talk about your bike, but I couldn't join in on at that point of the conversation. But obviously you're pleased with it.
Absolutely, mate. You know, so I was just sort of looking long enough, and you know, patience is a virtue, and I couldn't be happy with it, mate. You know, I paid a lot of attention to the ZZR, you know, and I did what I could with that, and you know, spruced up a little bit.
How long did you have it?
Well, the ZZR about a year and a half.
Oh, was it? Oh, well, I thought it might have been a long-term jobby. I thought you might have had it like years and years.
No. It probably looked like it.
No, it just looked like
that was a nice bike. But I'll tell you what, if I'm completely honest with you there was a fantastic bike. There was something missing, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But now I'll put my finger on it.
What is it?
Horsepower.
ZX12R, mate. It weren't a ZX12R.
What was missing from that ZZR11?
That's exactly that. It wasn't a ZX12R. There was something that it didn't give me, and I don't know what it was. The style of the bike was fine. It was an older motorcycle. It was powerful enough. You know, you can't knock any of that. But there was something that there was something missing, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But I've now got this ZX12, which I've been after.
What?
Jesus Christ!
Did something explode, Scott?
Hey, you want to take yourself to the pen, dude.
Applause and applause. Yeah.
Well, first old Tony Blackburn here.
No, your new bike is awesome, man. I like the look of it.
Yeah, cheers, Scott. Yeah, I love it. You know, I'm also looking forward to doing a few meets, because I haven't done any meets this year so far. Unfortunately, I borrow other people's bikes and I don't make it.
Oh yeah, I see that.
You know, and you know, it's just unfortunate. I mean, the meets we have got quite a few coming up, obviously. So looking forward to everyone that I can possibly attend. Because let's be honest with you, our numbers are growing big time, aren't they?
Oh God, yeah.
The numbers are growing, and I must admit, it's great to see that across the other side of the pond with you lads, your side is growing. The numbers are slowly getting there, and your meets are sort of coming together now, aren't they?
We're working on it, that's for sure. We got eight people that are potentially confirmed for the ride out. So
the only problem is, I suppose, with your side of the pond is the country is so big. You'd have to have a phenomenal amount of members just to get any that are local to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mike, what's the average ride time for you guys to meet up?
3 weeks.
Pretty much.
If you're lucky.
I gotta get us headsets or something. It's raining so hard in here right now. I can barely hear you guys over the sound.
Just open the garage door, Mike. Just show us what it's like outside, mate.
Okay.
We're going to get it tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah. That's a shame, really, because there's a local show, the Cop Dog Bike Show, and they normally get quite a good turnout. And last year, I pissed it down, and only had about 20 people turn up, which is a shame. You know. But, there you go. That's English weather.
You can't be thinking about taking that ZX12 out in the rain, not when it's so clean.
No, to be quite honest with you, mate, that was one thing that if I'm going to be completely honest with you now, the ZZR, I actually started to become a bit of a mental piece bike. And when I say that, I mean it, because I kept that as mint as I possibly could. And, you know, when you have a bike like that,
yeah,
and you it starts bothering you, the fact there's a black cloud in the sky. That's to me, that's no longer. There's no point having it. I'll be quite honest with you now. The ZX12 was a fantastic bike, but that's not going to stop me taking it out of the rain.
No, I mean, but I'm a bit like, if I have to ride in the rain, I will. I'm not frightened of it, but I don't choose to ride. I don't get any pleasure in riding in the rain.
No.
You know, because I don't want to have to worry about what's on the road on every corner and so on, whether I'm going to hit something on the road that's going to have me. But if I have to go out, I will. You know, it's one of them.
Yeah, I would say, because I got the, as you probably know, I got the XJ600 for work and stuff. And that don't bother me. I still keep it clean. You still maintain it as you would any other motorcycle, but it gets working in a haulage yard, it gets covered in all sorts of shite and forklift wheel tyre dust and all sorts of stuff. But once, twice a week, I'll wash it down, give it a quick wipe over, and that's
but if you've got a second bike like that, it enables you to have the mantelpiece bike, doesn't it?
Yeah, but do we? Yeah, I know what you're saying, but do we really want mantelpiece bikes?
Well,
really?
Each to their own. At the end of the day, some people like a rack bike, don't they? Me personally, ain't my cup of tea, but I like to.
I agree with you. It's having a clean bike, Lee, but it's having something that you stop using because of it. And I felt I'll be honest with you, I felt that I'd gone so far with the ZZR, I was tending not to use it if the forecast was anything less than sunshine.
Mark, we'd heard on the grapevine that you loved that ZZR so much that you'd kicked your missus out to the shed and the ZZR was upstairs.
Well, that's what I'd heard. No, seriously though, we spoke about it, and I couldn't justify having 3 bikes. Honestly, that was being fucking greedy, to be honest.
Did you trade the ZZR? No, you didn't, did you? You bought the.
No, I sold the ZZR. I sold that on the Gumtree, and I found the ZX12R completely separate from that. So that was a deal with good old cash, which is the way that I like to do things, and it's good.
Don't mean to be nosy, but do you mind? Well, what did you pay for it?
Which one? What the ZX12?
Well, yeah.
I'm fucking selling you, am I? Jesus.
Well, I understand what you mean about ending up cleaning the bike all the time and you don't want to take it out. That's why I bought the Speedy, was because I put so much work over. Geez, I bought the Super Magna in 2008. I've had it since then, and it looks nice now, but it was a wreck when I got it. It was an absolute basket case, and they're pretty rare, so I was willing to put the work into it. But after you've spent so much time on it, you don't ever want to take it out, except for when it's like perfect. It's nice and the weather's nice, and you're not going to.
California.
Yeah, so you never ride it. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I'm going to keep my Super Magna, because even though I love the bike, it ends up becoming like a museum piece. You don't enjoy it.
No.
It looks nice when it's clean, right? But who enjoys sitting there for hours polishing chrome and aluminum?
That's my point, and that's my point exactly. When it becomes and you put a chore to get a particular bike out. What I mean by that is, if you know that it's going to get covered in crap and all sorts of shite, if you take it out of the weather, you're worried about it coming back covered in crap, then to me it's no longer you're not enjoying it in the way that you should be. Let's be quite honest with you, I'm much happier if I've got a motorcycle or 2 motorcycles that, regardless of weather, they go out on the road. Yeah, I'm not bothered about it. I'm not bothered about it. As long as I've got the right gear, I don't give a shit. I ride in torrential storms, that doesn't bother me. And if I'm happy riding any particular bike, without having to worry about, if it's get covered in crap, so what? I'll clean it the next day, and that's no hassle. The ZZR became more than that, and that was my own doing.
You polish the rims. You do polish the rims, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I spent so much time on it, and it's great. If you're going to have a bike in a collection, that's fine. But if you're going to have a bike that you want to use every day, that wasn't so good. Obviously the lads see it, Chris see it, obviously Neil's seen it. It didn't make it any better than anybody else's. It was just for me. I only did it for me, not to put it on to shows or anything like it. Obviously, like any other bike, it would cause a certain amount of attraction when you turn up. You get off your bike and you notice, you sort of turn around and there's 1 or 2 people looking at it, and then you get asked questions. That was a nice bike. It was a shiny bike, but it was a ZZR11, no more, no less. So from the perspective of the bike that I've got now, it's great. It's a lovely bike. It's fantastic, brilliant condition, lovely. If it gets covered in shit, I ain't bothered. Really, seriously, I'm not bothered. Which is, I don't know, less crap for me to worry about. It's nice. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's there to be used, isn't it? It's a machine.
It is, mate. Yeah, and there's so many people who spend it. Don't get me wrong. You look after your pride and joy. They cost a lot of money, bikes, don't they? Same as anything else in life. And it's a strong believer in obviously looking after the things, doing the service work if you possibly can yourself, saving yourself some money at the same time. But going to the extent where you start not using it for what you originally bought it for, from my perspective, it was actually a relief to see it go. You know, it was, honestly. It might sound strange, but it was a relief.
No, I totally understand it, because I'm at the same situation with the Super Magna now. That's why I haven't got it painted yet.
Really?
It isn't that I haven't saved the money and set it aside to get it painted. I know, because of the way I am, that as soon as it gets that little extra bit nicer, I'll never want to ride it unless it's perfect outside, which means it'll just sit. You know, and I'd rather someone who's going to enjoy it more than I would have it. And, you know, I know, I totally get it. Like, I'm to the point now where I don't know if I want to take on building a rat project, but I certainly would like to get an adventure bike where the wife and I could ride 2 up on it. We could take all our crap and go camping on the weekend and not have a bit of chrome I got to worry about shining up. You know, I can garden hose the bike off, scrub it down with some muck off in like a matter of an hour, and be good to go. It's done.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, of course, I fully agree. I mean, you know, that's like as we all know, Dell's doing the old Tiger.
Yeah.
Now, as he said originally, he said people are going to disagree with this, you know, because obviously as a tiny bike, it's not a rat bike. It's not a rat bike as it stands, is it? Yeah. It's not something you'd think. It's not something you see at a bike show. I think, fucking hell, you know, that is a right old big pile of shit. I could do something with that, you know. And he knew for a fact that particular bike was going to cause a little bit of controversy when he decided he was going to tell people he was going to do some rattage with it. But let's be honest with you.
That's the same as damage when he first got it.
That's all good, man.
Damage did look good at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
a badass motherfucker, you know, like real like nasty piece of work bike that did.
Well, I fucking always see that.
Because like, why would you want to start out with a bike that was just a giant piece of shit to begin with, that you have to worry about its reliability and then rat that out? Because you're going to spend more time just fixing it, let alone getting it to the point where it looks the way you want it. You know, start out with a bike that's reliable and you like it, and then do what you want to do.
I fully agree, mate. I fully agree with that. It's like I suppose in our day, let's I think of a right piece of shit, right? It's like you going out of your way and going out to spend 6 months ratting something like an XS 250 Yamaha. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? That was an absolute dog from when it come out of the box. That thing, you know.
Actually, I think for me, if I was going to rat a bike out, if I had the money and the time to actually do the work, I would want to get a Honda Valkyrie, the 6-cylinder Valkyrie, and rat one of those out, like proper ratted out. They're not easy to come by, and I'm sure somebody would want to like hang me from a tree as soon as I took and tore one apart and ratted it. But I saw one done right, and it just looked so badass. I mean, that was like those a couple of. I know I posted a picture to a YouTube video of one of them, but like a older Goldwing looks really nice when it's ratted out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's surprising.
I think it looks way better than it did originally.
Yeah, I don't. Who likes a Goldwing? Not me.
It's a Barca Lounger with wheels on it, is what it is.
That's what it is, mate.
What people like we make fun of them. A Palomar. Have you seen that Deals Gap guy on Deals Gap on a Goldwing? See it, man. Them bikes handle so well.
Yeah.
In you know, compared to what they should or what you would expect from them. A Palomar took one out on a. He took his bike in for a bit of a recall or something like that. So nothing major. And they said to him, he took this Goldwing out for a ride, and he said, "You wouldn't believe how well they handle. They go around corners like they're on rails."
Oh yeah, it's a well-engineered bike. There, I've seen
400
YouTube
kilo
videos.
bike. Mad.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen YouTube videos of the Japanese police doing like trials testing in a parking lot or like a contest where they got cones and they're weaving around on Goldwings in the rain and not dropping them. You know, it's just amazing.
Speaking of
So
which,
yeah, it's a great bike. It's really well made. It's just I don't care for the styling, you know.
No. But well, I think they are better than what they look like. Most bikes, to be honest with you. But yeah, a lot of bikes, you look at them and think that won't go around the corner, that won't do this, that won't do that, and actually when you ride them, they're so much better than what you expect.
Yeah.
I think that applies to. I mean, the bike I've got now, I expected it to be a one-trick pony when I bought it, but it was one of those bikes where I thought I'm going to own one of those sometime. Sooner or later, I've got to own one of those bikes, even if it's just to get it out of my system. And it's so much more of a complete bike than I expected it to be. It's not a one-trick pony. It's not a drag strip bike. It's just a fucking good bike. Period.
Yeah. Lee, remind us, what's your bike, mate?
I've got a Busa. I've got a Busa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you know what people say? They don't go around corners. They ain't riding my one.
You know, the truth of the matter is people who say that this bike or that bike doesn't go around corners, they don't go around corners because they don't ride their bikes on a track. So, like, they wouldn't know what they're talking about in the first place. They just look at this big bike and they go, oh, that doesn't handle worth a shit. But most people don't have the riding skill to do it anyhow.
That's it. All bikes go around corners, just not necessarily sometimes at the
Right way.
not as quickly as one should.
Yeah. I can tell you now my Speed 4 has way more capability than I have to ride it. I mean, I'll put it in the bushes if I try to ride it to its capabilities. I don't have the skill.
Well, let's be honest with you, mate. We could probably all hold our hands up. I mean, all of us have got, cracking bikes. I don't think any one of us could outperform our piece of machinery, in all honesty. I think if I tried to outperform a ZX, I'd be dead within 2 minutes.
I think I can handle my wife's Rebel 250 is about right where I'm at skill-wise, if I'm going to go into a corner.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know, it may get the best of me too, so.
No. If I'm right, the Rebel, has they got the old, like the engine that used to be in something like a CM200 or CM250?
Yeah, it's actually the model number of the Rebel's a CMX 250, so it's all the same family. It's just the only difference, the engine is exactly the same. What they do is the frame has more rake to the forks, so it looks kind of more like a cruiser.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with a lot of the Hondas with the 250s in them, it's all mix and matched. I know Mel and I have been talking about what she wants to do with the bike after she gets into riding again. Yeah. And I don't know, she's on the fence because she kind of likes cafe racer looking bikes, but then again, she also likes Jenny's bike, Jenny Cactus, I guess it's in Bonneville, America, that they kind of bobbered out. Yeah. She really liked the look of that because Jenny let her sit on that at the end of the Jurassic ride, and she kind of liked how that, the bike felt and the way it looked. She just thought it was really cool. So that may end up happening to the old Rebel here. But first things first, it's got to get running first, and then, then Mel's going to get riding it first or second, and then we'll see what happens after that. But you know what? It's a $700 bike. If she dumps it 10 times, who cares?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to probably rat it out regardless anyhow because she doesn't want to polish any chrome. So it doesn't matter how beat up it gets as long as it runs and it rides properly,
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? I mean, I was going to say, I'll tell you what. Let's get suited up, man. Let's get suited up.
The Jurassic route.
That one. Right, hold on.
Yeah. I didn't hear that. What was that?
Did anyone get to the bottom and go, no, there was a big thing about the route for the Jurassic ride, and although they don't want to do another organised one because it's such a big deal, like where people couldn't find the route out and do it themselves, on any given day. Did anyone find out the route?
I know the route. I just haven't had the time because of work and other reasons to go through on Google Maps and actually mark it all out.
You're not exactly around a corner, mate.
No. But no, I actually, when we were there, my wife and I recorded every single turn, and I remember a good portion of it. So I could think I can lay it out pretty good in Google Maps. I just haven't had the time to do it yet.
I've got every single foot of the trip on video.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Chris.
Good ride? Is it a good ride? Is it a good biking ride?
It's a good mix of roads, Lee, to be honest. There's fast roads on there. Although we didn't go fast as a group, if you're there, just like with one or two of you, there's fast roads, there's windy roads, there's great scenery. You go
the Jurassic. That was fantastic, mate.
Yeah.
That really was. That was a right.
You've got a good mix of everything, mate.
Yeah, that was a fantastic day. That one. So the thing is, he does because he lucky. I mean, Chris, you managed to get to a hell of a lot of meets nowadays, don't you? You do. I mean, obviously Neil, he gets to every one of them.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year I struggle. I've managed to take 2 lots of leave from work for Bishop's Waltham and for the Ace in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if all goes well with the job hunting side, I'll have my weekends back. I'll be able to do pretty much all of them.
Yeah, you're still at the caravan, the holiday camp part side thing. Yeah.
Yeah, still there. Got an interview on Thursday for a new job. So.
Is it not your caravan site then?
No, I only manage it.
Oh, Steve, you know what? I was under the impression it was yours. You owned it, and it was your business.
No, if it was, I would have sold it by now. To be honest with you, it's there's so many people now that are not. Well, there's 2 things. The weatherman keeps putting people off by saying it's pissing down with rain and windy and shite fucking weather, and people don't want to come. But you can go abroad now for the same sort of money. People are going abroad because they're guaranteed the sun virtually.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the reasons. I mean, I'd love to do Scotland on the bike, but the truth of the matter is, you know what? 3/4 of the way down France is as close to Scotland than what you just said. The weather.
Yeah.
You know, so invariably I'll go south. I mean, all right, so it's going to cost me 50 quid for the Channel Tunnel. So fucking what? You know, it's going to be happy days. You know, I don't want to say to myself in February, right, in June, I'm going to go away for a week on the bike and then get pissed the rain on for a week. I'm going to go to France. I'm going to go, you know, wherever. Yeah. You know,
it's good riding the bike around France. I've done it a couple of times. It's brilliant. I mean, we rode down, not quite to the south of France, but like mid-Pyrenees, so you're sort of 2/3 to 3/4 of the way down.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sounds good, mate. I'm looking for some non-smokers to go across the channel.
Non-smokers?
Yeah, because I smoke, so I want to go to Adenkirk with as many bikes as I can, so I can bring all of the backy back.
That's why.
You know the best thing to do? Seriously, order it online.
You're right. Yeah. Who's going to deliver it? The postman?
Yeah, you can order it online. They send it post.
Yeah. I don't know. I've done
got a mate that does it.
Really? I've done Adenkirk so many times, mate. Hey, Chris, you'd love this, mate. I mean, if you go to Adenkirk anyway, in Belgium, they got massive, great big chocolate shop things, man. You know, because obviously Belgian chocolates. And you literally go in now. I mean, I'll send a message. I'll say, right, how many fags you want? Blah 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 blah. I'll get back from me, get back from my mates, so on and so forth. So I know exactly what I want. But when I've taken the kids there as well, right, in front of shop, they got hundreds, thousands of boxes of Belgian chocolates, and there's every single type that you can sample. Well, we normally spend about 3/4 of an hour around that bit, yeah. Right, and you feel as sick as shit by the time I get me back.
That would kill me.
That's great,
The sugar level would just fucking kill me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chris, the new job, is that a move up in salary, or is it like a lateral move? And also, would it mean you're moving to like a whole different area in the?
Yeah.
Because you're way out on the west side of the country, aren't you? Like southwest part.
Yeah, I'm right down in the southwest. There are a few more idiots down here now, but most of them ride 3 hours to get to the meet.
I just remember when I was sending the moon pies that like FedEx, who delivers all over the world, had trouble finding the address in the computer. And I actually had to sign a piece of paper that said that I would absolve them from any wrongdoing if they didn't deliver it to the correct address, because they couldn't find your house. I was like, no, that's what he said. This is exactly where it needs to go. So apparently they found it. Made it.
Yeah, it got it, mate, because I ate them all.
Yeah, I still remember the video. I still remember the video because you posted the video up about 5 minutes after receiving them, didn't you, Chris?
I think it was an hour. I think the video was done about an hour after we received them, and
Yeah.
the box got eaten in that first hour.
Because I know your jaw muscle was still going up and down when you introduced yourself on the video, so I thought you must have been eating half a fucking bag.
Had to be done, mate. Oh, it's like you with fucking donuts, you know. It's,
I'll tell you what,
you
mate,
can't
I've got
fucking leave them. You just,
Go
once
on.
they're there, you've got to have them.
Yeah. No, they're all
Your
gone.
dogs eat them all now.
Yeah, I'm
No,
the
but
same way with donuts, man. I can't go anywhere near a donut shop. You know, I'll eat half a dozen by myself.
Yeah. Really? Greedy bastard.
How many have you had tonight? I bet you've had at least 4 already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Boxes.
And crispy, yeah.
He's bought
Crispy
one of those
Kremes
boxes
are like
of 12,
Uber
12
donuts.
assorted ones,
Yeah.
and they'll all be gone by bedtime. They
Yeah.
blame his missus for eating them, and he will have eaten 11.
Well, without
Get the last
prying too much, Chris. Well, I mean, if you get the new position, where would you have to move? Like,
If I get this one, it will
Scotland.
be
Scotland.
no. It will be about 40 minutes from London, 40 minutes from Poole, and 40 minutes from my mum's place in Reading. So kind of central to wherever I want to be.
Channel Islands.
20 minutes from everywhere else.
Farnham.
That sounds like Basingstoke.
Yeah, not far away from there, mate. But Farnham.
Oh well, there you go. I want a bad guess.
Yeah.
Was-
No, Basingstoke's about
I was racking my brain.
20 minutes.
Really?
About 20 minutes away. So yeah. Where are you, Lee?
Romford, Essex.
Oh,
No. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Fuck it up. Yeah. Yeah, my ex-wife come from Corringham.
Oh yeah, that's just not far down the road, is it? Yeah.
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 She talking a load of shit.
Yeah. Well, what symptoms are it? No, I wasn't.
I'll tell you what, hey lads, I must admit, it's been a fantastic evening. I've really enjoyed myself tonight. It's been,
yeah, that's been a bit of a giggle, isn't it?
yeah, that's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was wondering, we're all enjoying these hangouts. Should we carry on doing them once a month?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
on
yeah.
board.
I mean,
Yeah,
as more
right.
people get to hear about, and we'll get more questions and that.
Oh, God, I'm not particularly bothered, mate. I think the party is for the party you turn up, mate. It's as simple as that, really.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always a good giggle.
Oh, Christ, mate, yeah. That's but then with Fade Orley. Go on, keep it quiet. Do that again, mate.
What time do you go on till? Out of interest.
About 4:15.
When I tried to join in, and then my phone rang. I couldn't find a link to get in, and then my phone rang, and I was on the phone for ages. I thought by the time I get off the bloody phone and work it out, you'd have all gone home and gone to bed.
Ah, you're right, Lee. I just wish you'd open that fucking front door, mate. The bloody doorbell's been locked.
It's normally about 2 hours, Lee. Give or take a bit. For the last 2, regular's been fucking slow. You know,
Yeah,
3
I
hours
started.
to eat fucking tea, make us late.
Yeah,
What's your
absolutely,
new-
mate. Yeah.
What's your new job if you get it? What's the what is it? Thing or-
It's
Rent boy.
security manager.
Fucking hell.
Oh dear.
I think Neil's having way too much fun over there.
Get him in the toy box.
Fucking brilliant, man. I'll tell you. I hope old Giles. I got a message from Mrs. Cactus today. I think they're definitely coming down the ice, but for some reason they've not put their names up on the ice list of arrivees, so to speak.
No, I think he said he was coming on his last video.
Yeah.
I was there. I was hoping he was going to bring the SR250, but no, he's coming down on the body.
What sort of video was that then? I'm coming!
That's where your donut come from, mate.
The fucking duck nuts. Yeah. Oh man, top class shit. I love it. But, I'll tell you what, it's been absolutely, mate, it's been fucking brilliant. I really enjoyed it tonight.
Yeah,
anyway.
one of the best ones so far, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and a bit of a laugh, mate.
That's because I'm here, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
Actually, while everyone's there, I've got a question for you now. You know, when you first come onto the Hangout, whoever's speaking, their screen appears in the middle of your screen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not happening on mine. It's stuck on one screen, and I've got to manually shift it. What have I done?
So you need to upgrade your PC,
Look at
mate.
it all night then.
Oh, I don't know, Chris. Sometimes they do play up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends on how you actually open the Hangout up.
It was working fine, and then I was trying to find that fucking drawer thing and put all the things on, and it went tits up. When you first come onto the Hangout, whoever's speaking, their screen appears on your screen.
Hello, Martin.
Good day, mate.
It's not happening on mine. It's
Hello.
on screen. Manually shifted.
I'll tell you what, someone's having a fucking laugh and get that old grasshopper back out again. Right? Well, I don't know, Chris. Sometimes they do play up, to be honest with you. Yeah. Sometimes it depends on how you actually open.
Someone's got the YouTube channel at the same time as the Hangout.
Close the other browser down.
Call in Martin.
So when you first come onto the Hangout, whoever's speaking.
Is it sorted? Sounds like it.
There you go.
They've run away.
What the hell is that? Who's that?
It's Martin.
Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Mark.
Guys. I had to get my teenager to sort me out to join in.
Ah, that was the problem.
And I had another tab open, so I think that
Yeah.
was probably interfering a bit.
Yeah, I think that's easily done. We've spoken about this before. Sometimes if you don't realise, but all of a sudden somebody's muting you, and you think, "What do you keep muting me for?" This was in the early days. And you think, well, because you've got another browser open, you get the reverb. You get sort of, obviously a repeat of exactly what you've said about 3 or 4 seconds beforehand.
Yeah, of course.
And you can get a continuous drum roll as well. Right? Right. And you can get 5 million crickets that don't stop making noise.
Nelly's going to wear that finger out in a minute.
Yeah. But anyway, good to.
Oh, dear me.
I'll tell you what, it's great to have a serious chat. Anyway, Neil.
Yes. Yes.
Have you ever? I'm going to ask you a question now.
Go on then.
Since we know you've had your Red Triumph. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You ever thought about pressing the effects button once more? Right.
Go on then. What do you want?
You know the GPZ 900R. How many bikes you have, mate?
Oh, crikey. I've got 3 at the moment.
Have you?
I've got an RZ 250R. It's like a 250 power valve, Japanese import.
Yeah.
That's over at my parents' house at the moment, but that'll be coming back over here, so I can start playing with that a bit as well, get that back on the road.
Yeah.
I got the old GPZ and I got my old Triumph Sprint.
Yeah. Sort of don't have any inclination to sort of want to go and treat yourself to something different? Or
I'd love to, but I ain't got no money. I've got wife and kids the same as everyone else, so
yeah.
as long as the old Triumph keeps going, then
don't get me wrong. I just wondered, but just sort of talk, we all sort of have ideas of new bikes every now and then, you know.
Oh yeah.
Always a bit of a side, as you do. I mean,
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
has been talking. Chris has been talking about possibly a Triumph with the next, you know, swapping or getting rid of the ZZR 14.
Yeah.
Well, I think wasn't that all because he didn't want to have to park out in the bins at the Ace?
Well, that was a lot of it, yeah.
How long you had the ZZR 14, Chris?
Just over a year.
What did you have before?
XJR 1300.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
It's got to be expensive putting plutonium in a warp drive all the time on that, doesn't it?
Talking cheap, isn't it, really? I've had 5 CB 1300s, and you know, so I know what the XJR sort of bike is like. But yeah.
It's surprising how heavy the XJR is compared to the ZZR.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the XJR was relatively light for a big heavy cruiser bike, and then when I got on the ZZR, it felt like I'd got on a 125.
Yeah.
So light.
Was me.
I think if I remember rightly, it's 172 kilos. I think it is.
Yeah.
Or what? Sorry.
What's it?
I think it's 172 kilos. My bike.
Oh, is ZZR?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Don't believe that.
It's ridiculously light compared to a lot.
Is that really? Because the ZZR 11 was 233.
Yeah. No, it's really really light.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not with you on board, though, is it?
That's just with the jacket on it. It's let me have a look. Hang on.
I'd be surprised if you Google the weight of your bike. I bet it's 230, 240 kilos. I would have thought so.
That's just what I'm doing now.
I think my boost is about 220, 230. So I haven't even looked that far.
Buse is about 228, I think, something like that.
I know it's a 1300cc bike at the end of the day. It's not going to be lightweight, is it? Let's be honest. I personally, I'm a bit of a. I've had sort of lightweight bikes in the past, you know, Fireblades and ZX6 and wherever, and I actually get on with heavy bikes more so.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not really had too many lightweight bikes, to be honest with you. Most of mine have been sort of GPZs, big GPZs. I've had FJs, you know, obviously the ZZR, CBs, big CBs. I've never really had lightish bikes. I mean, Greg, what's the weight of, say, for instance, the standard Bonneville or the America? They must be around. Are they about 190?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I tell you something, the engine is
That's nice.
That surprised me. I've just looked it up, and it says on here that mine is 260 kilos.
I was going to say.
But I'll tell you what, you'd never know it's that.
Maybe it's the weight distribution.
Yeah, that's probably real low.
It could be. I mean, when I park it in my shed, I drop it on its side stand, and I lift it up by the rear grab wheel and lift it up and move it over.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that with the XJR.
No.
Yeah, it can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be out and out weight. It can be out of the weight distributed, can't it? It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. XJRs are nice bikes, aren't they?
So if money was no object, what bike would each of you guys buy?
H2.
That's a sort of a question where it's a little bit difficult to answer. Is this a case of you can buy one bike and you've got to ride it for 5 years and you can't have anything else, or is this can this be a museum piece? I mean, if it was a museum,
well, yeah, you gotta add a lot of qualifiers to that, don't you? I guess it would be something that you would
legal.
Yeah, it would be something you'd ride every day. Just not necessarily a museum piece, and not like a bike that you could only take to the track.
Okay. I know for a fact if
KTM 1290 Super Duke.
I know for a fact.
That's the same bike I would pick too.
Make sure you get one with a warranty.
Yeah. Okay, next.
I'd have a new VMAX, I think.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Would you change the exhaust, or would you like?
Definitely. You have to rip those horrible things off. Yeah.
It looks like a trumpet section in an orchestra.
Yeah, some bikes have just got hideous exhausts on standard.
A lot of new bikes, haven't they?
Yeah, hideous.
Speaking were the worst ever.
Yes.
You've
Yes,
got
we
a
have
fucking
those here too.
got a fucking wheelbarrow.
I don't know, the standard exhaust on the current ZZR is a fucking hideous thing. It's hexagonal and it's about 4 foot fucking long for each can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, bigger than my head on the exit.
It just
Huge.
makes, when you look at them though, it makes you wonder who the hell has designed their bloody things. I noticed that obviously a few years ago the way they were going.
Ducati have started putting stupid size exhaust on theirs as well.
Yeah.
Is it not a lot down to the laws that they got to adhere to?
Well, the cats.
Yeah.
And yeah, but most people, I mean, yeah, you're going to sell them with a cat in, but most people just dump the thing anyway, don't they?
Well, that's it. I mean, you go and buy a brand new bike now. How many bikes are over a year old have still got the standard cans on it? It's probably less than 10%.
I haven't had
I changed the cans on mine, but the only reason I changed it was nothing other than looks, nothing, because I've even left the baffles in. I put Yoshimura trials on it. They were only 400 quid. They weren't spiteful, but they look so much fucking better. But they ain't gonna make the bike go any faster.
No.
As if you really need all that extra power.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it. No,
I changed the pipe on my Speed 4 just because of, well, it looked ridiculous. It really did. Well, Chris has called it a howitzer. It looks like a bazooka to me. It's some kind of military hardware. It's not an exhaust pipe. But it's so damn heavy. I mean, I dropped 8 pounds off the bike just by changing the pipe out. I mean, it's not going to go any faster. It's certainly, it sounds better, I can tell you that. But other than that, it's just the weight savings. I mean, 8 pounds on a motorcycle's got to be quite a bit. And if you have a dual exhaust, like on Chris's bike, the weight difference between the factory exhaust and going with an aftermarket exhaust with 2 pipes has got to be quite a bit.
I have to say I've had a few bikes with 2 pipes, and you know what? I've changed them for noise, V-twins for noise reasons, or this bike for because they look better. I've never ever got back on the bike afterwards and thought, Jesus, it feels lighter. Never noticed the fucking difference, to be honest with you.
Well, I guess you have to have a light bike to begin with to feel the weight difference. Or I can feel it.
I just got to introduce Martin. Hello, mate. How are you?
G'day, fellas. How you doing?
All right, mate.
I've been trying to get on since the beginning, but I couldn't figure it out. The teenager came along.
Yeah, the trouble is they know, don't they? I mean, it's like, the kids are just. My daughter, she's so fast on a keyboard, and I'm thinking, how the hell do you do that? I mean, I don't know about you lads, but I still press with one finger.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I still get it wrong. Yeah.
I'm using
I had to pretend that the young kids are digital natives, and
that's what it is. Absolutely, yeah. They're brought up with it. I mean, I don't think I invented the calculator by the time we left school, but.
So you guys are in the middle of the night over there, are you? What's the time where you are?
Half 11. Yeah, I'm gonna knock it on the head in a minute, but we can still start online and have a good guess. We can have a chat.
Yeah. It's Sunday morning here, so it's the beginning of the day for us, and it's a long weekend, Queen's birthday weekend here in New Zealand.
Really?
So here's to
I'll take it the weather's quite fine over there, then.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It has been the last few days. We've had a whole lot of rain because it's the beginning of winter. Then we've had 3 or 4 days of beautiful weather. Been out on the motor guzzy with me and the better half. Raining today though, so back to the old winter.
Yeah, it's like it over here, mate. It's, we're still hoping to kickstart summer, but it's not happening.
Yeah,
I've had brilliant sunshine all week.
We haven't had bad weather. We haven't had bad weather so far. Let's be honest.
We've not had bad weather. No, I mean we've been lucky. I mean, when you think about what I had over in the States, especially sort of around New York, was a good couple of months of snow, wasn't it, Mike?
Oh yeah, we even last month we were near freezing for the last hangout when I was in the garage. I mean I was cold enough. I probably should have had a jacket on.
Yeah, your garage you're in now.
Yeah.
Fucking fucking laughing. I know you Americans like to do things bigger.
It's my unfinished house back
You must come onto this hangout just to make us feel bad.
Well, it's all about perspective, right? I mean, I think we've had discussions about this before, where like with Scott and I arranging our the first collective ride in the U.S. The U.S. is so big. If you think about it, land area, the U.K. takes up about the space of Pennsylvania and West Virginia combined, right? And so for us to even get enough idiots together to have a ride out, you have people riding 200 and 300 miles to get to this location, Yeah. So there's a lot of space. Believe it or not, this is actually for the Detroit metro area. This is a small house, and this is considered a 1.5 car garage in the U.S. I have friends that have 3-car garages, in these giant homes that I would never want to buy because they're living paycheck to paycheck. They're what we call house poor. But, there's space where, when I visited the UK, you got houses that are right in on top of each other. You just don't have the real estate to have a big garage, so everybody has a small garage.
People over here live paycheck to paycheck as well, and they're living in something that's about 6 foot square.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we got plenty of empty homes over here. Come on over. I'll vouch for all of you.
Let's be quite honest. We see obviously Mike's garage last time in the last hangout, and
I get ripped about it all the time.
Jealous, mate. Jealous, mate. I tell you.
I'm a bit disappointed that you're not actually doing your valve clearances while you're talking to us, to tell you the truth.
That's good stuff.
If I was confident enough to do that, I would do it, but I don't want to screw it up, so.
Yeah. No, it's coming along well. It's looking good, mate, and obviously the work you've done so far has been very progressive. I mean, that China Sprockets could have been an absolute fucking nightmare, mate, really, couldn't it, to be honest?
Yeah, I'm just glad that they're, Triumph designed with the bike. Well, I guess all bikes kind of have the same thing, but that safety washer that kind of locks the retaining nut for the sprocket in. If that hadn't have been on there because of how loose the nut was from the previous owner, the sprocket would have fell off while I was riding the bike, and that certainly would have locked up the rear wheel. I mean, it would not be a fun day if that happened.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Dell about it. I was like, I know we don't have an MOT test here where they, kind of go over the safety bits of the bike. There's no inspection, and most dealers, at least in Michigan, every state's different, will not do a pre-purchase inspection on a bike. They will only, if they sell a used bike, they do their own inspection because they're liable. So it's not like I could take my Triumph to a Triumph dealer and say, hey, I'm thinking about buying this. Would you please look over the bike? So it's always they're always sold as is. Yeah. And in this case, the guy just lied his ass off. And I really want to go and punch him right in the nuts, because he's just a lying sack of shit. Just absolute BS. Everything out of his mouth was garbage. Now I know enough about how full of crap he was to not trust anything he was telling me. I just assume none of the maintenance has been done.
Yeah. I can't.
The only thing I know that was done for certain, because it was stamped in the logbook by Triumph, was that when they did the warranty work on the front sprocket, because of I guess they were having problems with the wear guide on the swing arm wearing out too quickly because of the clearance of the chain. So at 12,000 miles, Triumph put a 15-tooth sprocket on the front. But other than that, nothing's been done to this bike. Dude just rode it, and that was it. Put gas in it, probably. That was the only maintenance it had on it.
It probably fairly... Sorry.
No, go on.
No, I was going to say, obviously, I suppose there's a certain amount of pride, though, Mike, the fact that obviously you didn't really know the full story with the bike until you started, obviously, taking out for the odd ride, and then obviously you start sussing out the things that are not quite so good with it. You start breaking it down to renew parts or just to give it a service. Things like the China Sprockets. There's a certain amount of pride in doing your own service work and building something back up from that particular state of affairs. So once you've actually got it finished, mate, there's sort of a pat on the back for you, buddy, because it's probably been a bit of a task, but it is a lovely looking bike, mate. So congratulations on that one. That's coming on nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was a great deal. That's the only saving grace of this whole project. I mean, there's a lot of work that it's needed, and there's still a couple of things to sort out. But for the most part, I saved a ton of money. And the only thing concerns me about shit like this, and I really wish we had an MOT type of testing, at least, maybe not on a national level, but at least here in Michigan, is because let's say somebody who didn't have the good sense to stop riding, because I only put about 60 miles total on it from when I bought it, and as I rode it, things didn't feel right. The bike didn't feel right at all. And I'm like, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to get off of it. I'm going to start pulling things apart and look at it. And that's when I discovered what was wrong with the bike. If someone who is just getting into riding, because we don't have progressive licensing, there's no MOT test, they could have killed themselves on that bike, because of a mechanical failure, because the idiot who owned it before didn't do the maintenance on the bike. And sometimes that's scary.
Just hope it wasn't an idiot who owned it before, eh?
Not
Not
a collective idiot, just a moron.
Right, lads, I'm just going to knock this broadcast on the head. It's been an absolute joy this evening. Thanks for joining for the live broadcast. We're going to carry on afterwards and have a good gas anyway. I've got a few jokes for you anyway. Not ones I could spread about live, to be honest. Anyway, gentlemen, it's been fantastic. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.